A very good morning to you all children. Continuing with operation on numbers and literals, we are going to start with subtraction now. In the previous video, we did addition on numbers and literals. Okay, here we'll do the subtraction. For this, we'll understand with the help of few examples. X decreased by y. X is decreased. Means x is reduced by 8. Okay, so x minus 8. Y subtracted from 8. Y is being subtracted from what? From 8. 8 minus y. X decreased by y. X minus y. X decreased by 3. X is being decreased by what? By which number? 3. If I say 5 decreased by 3 will be how much? 2. 5 minus 3 to 5 is being reduced by 3. Okay, subtract minus y from x. From x, x minus y I'll subtract. So this minus and minus inside the bracket, when we remove the bracket, minus will become plus. So this is equal to x plus y. Clear? Now coming to multiplication. Multiplication means what? The product. Okay. 4 times x. 4 times x is 4 into x. If we remove this multiplication sign and write 4x, this is correct. When we have a literal and a constant, then we do not put sign in between. If I write product of A, B and C means what? A into B into C. But then instead of writing A into B into C, we write it as A, B, C. No sign in between literals means it is being multiplied. Okay? No sign between a constant and a literal means it is multiplied. No sign between two literals means it is multiplied. So product of x and y is xy, or we can write yx. 1 multiplied to any literal x, y, z, a, b, c, p, q, r is the literal itself. Minus 1 multiplied to any literal will give what? X into minus x. Here we have taken x as the literal. X into minus 1 is how much? Minus x. So any literal multiplied to minus 1 is the negative of the literal, that is minus x. Here it is x, so it is minus x. If it is y over here, so minus y. Now we are going to understand the properties of multiplication for any literal x, y, z. We have xy is equal to yz. Okay. 2 into 3 is equal to 3 into 2 is equal to 6. This is the commutative law. Suppose the value of x is 2 and y is 3. Here y is 3 and x is 2. So 2 into 3 is equal to 3 into 2 is equal to 6. This is the commutative law. Associative law is if we group 2 into 3 into 4. Okay, this is being grouped. And this is 2 into 3 into 4. 3 4s are 12, 12 2s are 24. Here what do I have? 2 3s are 6, 6 4s are 24. Both sides equal. This is associative law. If we change the grouping of the literals, the value does not change. Distributive law is if I have two literals added and then multiplied by another literal, two literals added and both this literal is being, these two literals are inside the bracket and we have another literal outside the bracket. That means this literal is being multiplied to the first one and it is also being multiplied to the second one. So this is xy plus xz. We'll understand this with the help of example. Let us take x as 2, y as 3 plus z as 4. Okay, so this is how much? 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, 7 2s are 14. And if I take xy will be 2 into 3, that is 6. Xy will be 2 into 3, that is 6. And xz will be 2 into 4, that is 8. So 6 plus 8 is how much? 14. Both sides equal. This is known as the distributive law. Then we have the multiplicative property of 1. 1 multiplied to any literal is the literal itself. Then multiplicative property of 0 is 0 multiplied to any literal is 0. X into 0 is equal to 0 into x is equal to 0. Clear? Before moving to division, I missed out 2 points over here. X less than y. X is less than what? Y. Okay. 9 less than x. 9 is less than x. Now next, coming to division, x divided by y is x by y. A divided by 8, a by 8. 8 divided by a, 8 by a. 8 divided by a. This line means division. Clear? Next thing we are going to learn here is the power of a literal. Suppose I have y into y into. Okay, mark the sign over here. This is multiplied. Y being multiplied to y. That means y raised to the power 2. Y is being repeated how many times? It is being repeated 2 times. Okay, so it is read as y square. Now next, if I have x into x into x is equal to what? X cube. X raised to the power 3. And we can read it as x cube or x raised to the power 3. Here y square can also be read as y raised to the power 2. Okay. Now here I have x into x into x into x. X is being repeated how many times? It is being repeated 4 times. So x is being raised to the power 4, read as x raised to the power 4. Now suppose I have x repeated n number of times. This is x repeated n number of times. Okay, this is equal to whatever is being repeated, that literal will take as the base, and the number of times it is repeated will take as the power. So x to the power n. X is being repeated to n number of times. Here x is known as what? X is known as the base and n is the exponent or index or power. N indicates what? N indicates n indicates, or we can say power or index or exponent. Indicates the number of times the base is being repeatedly multiplied. Right? Here n indicates what? N, which is the power or index or exponent. It indicates the number of times the base. Base is what? X. Here base is x. Okay, is being repeatedly multiplied. So this x raised to the power n is known as the exponential form of a number. X raised to the power n is known as exponential form of a number. It could be a raised to the power n, it could be c raised to power n, it could be z raised to the power n. All these are known as what? These are known as the exponential form of number. Here what is the number? The number is a, here it is c, here it is z. These are the variables used over here. Okay, here we have to note two things. We have to remember two things. Any literal raised to power 1 is the literal itself. Okay, any literal raised to power 0 is 1. It could be a raised to power 1 is a. It could be z raised to power 1 is equal to z. Any literal to the power 0 is y raised to power 0 is equal to 1. Z raised to power 0 is equal to 1. Any literal raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. Here we are going to understand this, right? In exponential form. 2 into 4 into a into a into a into a into b into b into c into c into c. I have to write this in exponential form. Okay. 2 into 4 is how much? 2 into 4 is 8. Right? A is A, B and C. These are the three variables used over here, or three literals used over here. So A, B, C, first you will write. Then A is being repeated how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. A is multiplied 4 times. So A raised to power 4. B repeatedly multiplied how many times? It is repeatedly multiplied 2 times. So B raised to power 2. And C is being repeatedly multiplied 3 times. So C raised to the power 3. Okay. Then write in product form. 4, P5, Q4 and R. Nothing above this means it is raised to the power 1. Because any literal raised to power 1 is equal to the literal. So 4 you will write 4 into P is repeated how many times? 5 times. So P into P into P into P into P. 5 times P you will multiply. Into Q being repeated 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then R is being repeated 1 time. So nothing between these, I told you earlier that no sign between the literals and the number means they are being multiplied. So when we write it in the product form, we write with the help of multiplication sign in between. Clear? I hope you have understood this. In the next video, I'll be explaining you the solved examples of the chapter.